Yo, what is good, y'all, man? We're gonna be starting this up in a second, man. Welcome to Talking Shit, episode 36. We're gonna be covering a couple things, man. But now that y'all, let me see, get something situated here. Starting this up in a second, man. We're gonna be talking shit, episode 36. We're gonna be covering a couple things, man. Alright. Had to get a couple things situated now. Alright. What's going on, y'all? Like I said, welcome to Talking Shit, episode 36. Man. I don't know who blowing down on us tonight, man. If anybody, but I'm gonna cover this first because my boy Iceberg, he dropped this on us. So let's take a look, man.
If you look around the country, they do have programs, unfortunately, well, they will take a student, look at their race, say, okay, you're white, you're an oppressor. If you're black, you're oppressed. And think about what that does to a 6 or 7-year-old kid. That's wrong. You're seeing that. You have people that are teaching, and actually his running mate has said this in the past, that teaching the United States was built on stolen land. That is inappropriate for our schools. It's not true.
The U.S. was absolutely built on stolen land. That's not even something that is disagreed about. It was stolen from Native Americans. There was a genocide committed by settlers from Europe. We all know this. So to say it's incorrect and inappropriate to learn about tells you everything you need to know about Ron DeSantis. This is what he does. And you can also hear the audience losing its mind as he makes that inaccurate claim. Now, this is during the Florida gubernatorial debate between the Republican incumbent, Ron DeSantis, and his opponent, Charlie Crist, who's running as a Democrat, but make no mistake, he is no lefty, not by any stretch of the imagination. He was supportive of efforts to keep gay marriage banned in this country. He's just not, he ain't your savior. Let's just put it that way. So someone isn't necessarily our friend because we might share the same enemy. And let's be clear, Charlie Crist has no chance of winning, but that doesn't mean that there weren't some interesting, spicy moments during this debate, particularly the fact that Ron DeSantis was basically shadowboxing Joe Biden the entire time. So let's watch that.
Look in the eyes of the people of the state of Florida and say to them, if you're reelected, you will serve a full 4-year term as governor. Yes or no? Yes or no, Ron? Will you serve a full 4-year term if you're reelected governor of Florida? It's not a tough question. It's a fair question. He won't tell you.
Homeboy is not going to answer that question. Funny. He's planning on running in 2024. The question is, will he run even if Donald Trump announces that he intends to run? We don't know for sure yet, but I mean, to some extent, like, he didn't say, yes, I make that promise. He didn't say no either, but like, it's clear that he's not willing to serve the full term if, he's definitely thinking about running. So that's clear. Now, why did Crist hit him with that question? Because the entire time Ron DeSantis was campaigning against Joe Biden. This is a gubernatorial debate about who will serve as Florida's next governor. And polls do indicate that Ron DeSantis is poised to win. He's got a massive lead over Charlie Crist. But before we get to those numbers, I just want to provide this fun compilation, giving you a sense of just how often DeSantis mentioned Biden.
Charlie Crist has voted with Joe Biden 100% of the time. He supports Biden's energy policies. Well, first, I think we have the worst inflation of 40 years. It's much more expensive to replace a roof today than just 3 years ago, thanks to the Biden-Crist policies. Why are fuel and natural gas prices up? Because of the Biden-Crist energy policies. Well, we know that these are the effects of the Biden-Crist policies, the worst inflation in 40 years. And Charlie Crist votes with Biden 100% of the time. You say you're for the secure border, but this is all happening under the Biden administration and the policies that Charlie Crist supports.
DeSantis is already on that campaign trail. One thing that I wanted to highlight was the fact that DeSantis had mentioned that insuring your home in Florida has become much more expensive under the Biden administration. He completely left out the fact that insurance companies, look, the whole point of insurance companies is to make money, right? So they do the calculations. They realize that extreme weather, hurricanes, for instance, have been happening more and more often, and they're far more extreme. And that it's maybe, did they do the cost benefit analysis and they realize, yeah, maybe we don't want to insure people in Florida. So after Hurricane Andrew, a lot of those insurance companies decided we're not going to do business in Florida. These hurricanes happen too often. It's not really great for our business model. It's not great for our profits. And Florida, interestingly enough, after that, decided to subsidize insurance. The state started to subsidize insurance in cases where private insurance wasn't, willing to provide the coverage that homeowners needed in the state. So that's interesting. But now that these hurricanes are happening more and more often, and now that they're more and more intense, thanks to a fun thing called climate change, yeah, these insurance companies are charging much higher premiums, or they're deciding not to offer insurance in Florida at all, which means homeowners have less choices. And it's going to cost them a lot more money to insure their homes. I mean, you could try to blame that on Biden, and honestly, with the lizard brain situation that we've got in this country, people are going to buy it for sure. But no, guys, climate change is costing all of us. If it's not our lives or our health, it's costing us a lot of money through the endless, natural disasters that are exacerbated by climate change, through droughts, through emergencies that we keep hearing about, whether it's flooding or, hurricanes. It's just the reality of the situation. And you've got one party that wants to completely deny that it's something we need to be concerned about, and that's the party that Ron DeSantis comes from, Republicans. And then you have Democrats who are also beholden to corporate interests. So they put out, relatively milquetoast policies to combat climate change. Obviously not nearly enough to do what needs to be done to respond to the emergency effectively. So here we are with two pathetic parties that are just self-interested entities looking to increase their campaign coffers through pandering to corporate interests, who look to increase the amount of money they've got personally by investing in individual stocks, which makes them personally invested in the very corporations that they're supposed to regulate. Then we've got the fake debate. You look at that debate stage, and I don't know, some people, I guess the corporate media might have you believe that there's like a significant difference between the two, but Charlie Crist is no enemy to corporate interests. And he's definitely not our friend. And certainly Ron DeSantis doesn't fall under the category of comrade either. And it's the false choice that Americans have in every election cycle over and over and over again. The whole system needs to be reformed. And getting money out of politics at this point is the bare minimum.
On. When people
Man, politics always been about money, man. But it's funny that now these two candidates, like she said, this dude that's supposed to be representing the Democratic Party, he ain't really doing nothing either. Like, they putting out milquetoast policies and shit like that for global warming, because ain't really nothing you could do. I mean, I mean, global warming is what it is. Y'all know why it's happening. I mean, I don't know. Like at this point, like I don't know who. Like I always push vote. I'm gonna continue to push vote, but I don't mean like when I like just voting shit means for your own community. Like you know what I'm saying? Change the shit around your community. Like, cause a lot of times this shit that's the voting stuff that's as far as like presidential and all this stuff that should be like a hoax and it be paid off. Like man, like this gubernatorial shit is like seem like it's paid off. It's just crazy, man. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like man, I'm not Democratic or Republican. Like I listen to who is doing what, who want to do. Like I listen to what they say they gonna do if they gonna do it. And then it's like good if you get somebody who does what they say they gonna do when they say they do it, when they say they gonna do it in office and shit. So I don't know, man. But that shit crazy, man. Everybody know this land was stolen, man. It's in the history books now. They just gonna start trying to erase those. Uh, it's a damn shame, man. This shit just wild. Shit, moving right along though, man. Let's...
Hey, that's enough. Don't come no closer. Don't come no closer. I'm asking you to step back. I'm asking you to step back. You don't tell me what to do in the public right here. Dude, just go, all right? You're in your house. I was sent out here. Don't get in my face because you're making me feel threatened. Step back, please. I'm asking you to step back. Okay. I'll step back. I don't got to go nowhere. I'm leaving. Neither do I. All right. Man, listen. If you come to me one more time, if you get one more close to me, I'm knocking you the out. Yeah, see? Oh, you want...
Damn.
See, I wish you'd have just left me alone. You didn't have to do that.
I didn't punch you, dude. You punched me.
I asked you to get back.
You didn't have to punch either.
I asked you to get back, didn't I?
You were just here looking for trouble.
Didn't I? I'm here looking for trouble?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, okay. You're right.
I know I am.
You're right. That's what I do. That's what black people do. Hope you feel better.
Listen, that was self-defense. Consequences, repercussions. The man continued to say, sir, please, back away. You make me feel threatened here. I'm going to back away. He backed away. Still, the white male continued to be aggressive, indicating violence as his intention. Put up his picture. If consequences and repercussions had a face
like a
connected to
pumpkin.
it, it'd be this guy. Now, there's a part of me that feels bad for him. Very small, insignificant part of me. All right, I do not condone violence. I say that, I submit that to you for the television audience. This is something that we highlight as a public service announcement. Do not engage in this kind of activity. This is criminal behavior. When you decide to aggressively approach somebody, when you are putting them in proximity of your violence or intended violence, they have the right to defend themselves. That's exactly what happened here. Jeff, thoughts?
This is the worst case of a self-fulfilling prophecy I've ever seen in my life. So the white guy, the Karen, man Karen, if you will, Kim, I forgot what they're called, walked over with the presumption that the black man was going to do something dangerous, provoked the black man, and then he ended up doing something dangerous to him. Has he not seen the Nutty Professor? You walking over, but you limping back? Has he not seen life? You try to come up here and get my cornbread, there's gonna be consequences and repercussions. Which, by the way, I'm sorry, the cinematography of this video was fantastic. The cut and then the cut back and you see his face. I am just wondering what happened to this man. Like, did he turn into the Hulk and destroy this dude? Like, what happened in that time? Like, was it 5 seconds? Are we talking 5 minutes? How much did we miss? And then like, I don't condone violence, okay? I don't. But I would pay-per-view to see that footage. Like, I would pay to see it. I would pay to see it. There has to be a camera somewhere.
Yeah.
that took footage of this that we need to see to show people to like, hey, mind your business. Leave people alone.
Well, we did not see the attack, and obviously neither did he.
That's funny. That is hilarious. I don't think this is on the thing. Yeah, it is. Whew, that's crazy. He found out though.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We're starting tonight with horror in the heartland of America.
I ain't got shit else to say about that other one, man. Dude said it all.
Another school shooting, this time in St. Louis. It happened today at the city's Central Visual and Performing Arts High School. Terrified students leaving their school with hands raised, escaping the senseless horror of bullets and bloodshed in their hallways and classrooms. A teenage girl was pronounced dead inside the school. Another victim, a teacher, died at the hospital. The gunman, believed to be in his 20s, was killed in a gun battle with police. This was the 40th school shooting in the U.S. this year. That's a half dozen more than in all of last year. The mayor of St. Louis spoke for so many parents today, saying our children shouldn't have to experience this. Caroline Hecker of our CBS St. Louis affiliate KMOV joins us now from the scene. Good evening, Caroline.
Good evening, Nora. It was a horrifying and chaotic scene here that played out at the school. The victims ranging in age from 61 years old to just 15. The shooting sending students scrambling to safety, jumping out of windows and finding any door they could find. It was just after 9 a.m.
They reported an active shooter in a high school
when an all too familiar scene erupted.
We're walking out the building. It's blood on the ground and stuff like that. We see students covered in blood. I see a lot of kids. It was kids crying everywhere.
Police raced to Central Visual and Performing Arts High School. Traumatized students ran for their lives. Relatives rushed to their loved ones.
It's a nightmare.
Students say the shooter entered the school with a long gun, then opened fire, killing one female teenager and injuring at least 7 others. One victim, teacher Jean Kushka, who passionately raised money for diabetes research, later died at the hospital. The gunman was reportedly killed by police.
I seen my friend have all blood on her hand, and it was like she seen the shooter, and the shooter came to her and said, "You ready to die?" And to see her just screaming and crying, and it was just hurt me.
As the community mourns, there are questions about safety at the school where authorities say 7 security personnel were on duty at the time.
It was that timely response by that security officer, the fact that the door did cause pause for the suspect, that bought us some time. So, but yes, the doors were locked.
Investigators located the suspect's car and are searching for more clues to the gunman's motive.
Everyone who survived here is going to take home trauma. Even the officers who responded here, and the firefighters and the paramedics who worked on people here are going to experience some degree of trauma.
Smooth in the back. What up, Smooth?
Now, agents with the ATF and FBI were searching a home connected to that gunman this afternoon. Again, the ATF and FBI seen searching that home for several hours here in South St. Louis. He is said to be a 19-year-old male, graduated, Nora, from this school just last year. Tonight, the community plans to hold a vigil.
Wow. Just fucking wow.
This fall, our safety is on the ballot. Bob Young is fighting for...
Fuck out of here. Oh my goodness. Please, y'all. Y'all gotta stop with these school shootings, man. This is just crazy. Let's see what these niggas are saying, man.
marketing. Is that why you made the move to Donda Sports? And yeah, talk to us about that. This Kanye, that's a legendary move. I would love to hear.
My wife actually do my marketing. She do a lot of my marketing. So, it was an opportunity that came to us, me and her, and it made sense. And hearing the whole, spectrum of, everything that was going on, what they was going to be bringing, the family atmosphere that they got in Donda Sports, and not just me, but my wife being a part of that. For me, it was a no-brainer.
You met Kanye?
Yeah.
How was that?
He cool, man. He real cool. He's a cool dude. We got to talk a little bit. Vibe was at one of his video shoots.
Super Bowl champion Aaron Donald was speaking on I Am Athlete back in May about his decision to join Donda Sports. You guys can imagine what that is. Entertainment wing of agency, at least he's signing folks on. And they brought on a superstar athlete in Aaron Donald. What a big get that was. Well, that was in May, so it only took about, 5 months before Ye decided to destroy that relationship because Aaron Donald, and he spoke of his wife, shout out to Erica Donald, because she puts these things together for him. They decided to part ways. Let's look at this letter that they put out, they tweeted out. They said, our families made the decision to part ways with Donda Sports. The recent comments and displays of hate and anti-Semitism are the exact opposite of how we choose to live our lives and raise our children. We find them to be irresponsible and go against everything we believe in as a family. As parents and members of society, we felt a responsibility to send a clear message that hateful words and actions have consequences, that we must do better, and we must do better as human beings. And they went on to talk about the beliefs, voices, actions. This is irresponsible stuff. We can't be associated with it. I think that's normal process to thought, a normal process and a thought to take towards this type of thing. But also there was someone else. They didn't just sign Aaron Donald. They also signed Jaylen Brown, who was not that close to an NBA championship, but was at least in the finals just last season. Another big name land for Donda Sports. Maybe they can build out their roster. No. This is what Jaylen Brown tweeted yesterday as well, a little bit after Aaron Donald's decision. He said, in the past 24 hours, I've been able to reflect and better understand how my previous statements lack clarity in expressing my stance against recent insensitive public remarks and actions. Pause. What he's referring to then is Jaylen Brown originally was saying he's gonna stick with Donda Sports after we're seeing all this stuff. Then he said, maybe not. I'm not sure which interview he saw to finally make his decision. Anyway, he continued, and in this, I seek to be as clear as possible. I have always and will always continue to stand strongly against any anti-Semitism, hate speech, misrepresentation, and oppressive rhetoric of any kind. He went on and said he's gonna detach himself from them as well. One more letter, Sharon. They liked writing letters yesterday. This is something I didn't even know. So maybe you were ahead of this than me on this. I wasn't paying that much close of attention to Donda Sports, and specifically Antonio Brown, also a former NFL player who apparently is the president. I didn't know that. He put out an official statement. I'll read only a part about this. He says, over the past few weeks, the world's reactionary and selective outrage at comments in the media made by my brother Ye have inflamed and sparked rampant conversation and reflection. I too have been able to reflect on statements that I and others in my circle have made that lack clarity in expressing my stance. AB has been all over the place. He's been in controversies with Tom Brady, with exposing himself in a pool to someone, and then also ending his career virtually in NFL. All these energies and opinions and thoughts and statements all come together, but he's basically saying he doesn't want to live in a society that's gonna be judging me when I have different thoughts and points of views. I guess you don't have to have too much more work to do that because people are detaching and running away like crazy from this entire situation. What's your thoughts here?
Well, yeah, I don't know who he's gonna have left to talk to. But perhaps Kanye, who probably said, hey, listen, you better get out there and support me. But I'm really tired too of the statements, the written statements. If I don't believe that the filth that Kanye is spewing is right, relevant, whatever, I don't know why I can't just stand before the cameras. I don't know why I can't just say it to his face. I think that some of these people who have benefited from that relationship need to come out with it. I remember Damon John. I was reading an article about how he confronted Russell Simmons when all those accusations were about him. They're friends. He considers him a dear friend and a mentor, but he said, I have to take you out of my book. You're not gonna get this chapter anymore because it's just not the right thing. Nobody was calling on him to do that. He just did it and he faced him head on. And that could go a long way with some of these people.
So you're saying like the statements being made is a little too cold? Just go to the guy and be like, listen.
Everything they doing, all this
I want to see you. I want to see your eyeballs. I want to hear your inflection. We're seeing people sitting down for interviews when they signed with Donda Sports. They were all too happy to be next to Kanye West. Now that he's imploded, why not
What's
say,
good, my
listen,
brother?
this is not what I signed up for. I don't agree, and tell me exactly what you don't agree with. That's my only point.
Yeah, I was in the middle of this dinner, man.
Oh, you good?
You know, okay.
I didn't want to get
They make
caught
it a
up.
very delicate situation because they're then concerned about, hey, if this one word is off in my statement or in my conversation, maybe I could still get like, people are going to hate me, my marketing team. Because again, the reason why athletes may sign on to.
They talking about these couple athletes and stuff that had broke away from Kanye after this shit, and I'm just listening to these people because I got a couple videos coming up next that's gonna explain a lot of shit and make a lot of these people look real goofy, dog, about this anti-Semitism stuff, man.
If I can just chime in on it, man, it's crazy how society is now, bro.
Yeah, yeah. This is bullying, man. This is bullying. They bullying this man.
And
they bullying anybody who thinks like him too. You seeing
right.
this shit?
What people don't get is if you really had listened to what he was saying, he told the truth. You seeing it now?
Come on, yeah. He's
seeing it now. That count. What is it? Council culture shit.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
He said it. He said anybody who doesn't go along with their agenda, they're gonna want to cancel. They're gonna want to get them out, and then it's happening.
The thing about it, two other things though, that just struck me like, dang. He's not the first one to say this shit.
No.
And then at the same time, man, that dude, I mean, when he said, I'm not going to let my people, I was like, damn. So he willing to go all the way with what he said.
Right.
You know, everything about the powers that be and all that. Those are the people. Those are the people that they about, man. You know, but to go a little further into the history of it, those people didn't have control at first. The Jews weren't, they didn't have control at first. They sat around and watched. They sat around and watched and picked up on stuff. And then when they were able to make their move, they made a move.
Facts.
You know, that's what we as black people need to understand. Because right now, we could do the same thing the Jews did, man.
Right. Well, see, that's the thing that people we get ready to get into. We're gonna look at some of that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna cut to that. Let's get to this fat meat too. That us. Period. We are the original Semites. If you look at what the definition is, the explanation that's in the Webster's and all that shit, we are the Semites, bro. Like, watch. Let's do this. Because I keyed all this stuff up.
Semitic. Of or pertaining to a subdivision of Afro-Asiatic Semitic languages, Amharic, Arabic, Aramaic, Syriac, Akkadian, Hebrew, Maltese, Tigrinya, Phoenician, etc.
I'm going home tomorrow.
Most definitely.
And I was like, I'm gonna get my rest today. I'm gonna catch that brother tonight, man, because
what you say? You had to get on the hand on this one,
yeah, been on the highway, man, and doing all this shit, man. You know, they get weary and all that shit.
Hell yeah.
I was like, yeah. All right.
Right. Now check this out. Let me see. This is funny because she got a crazy ass voice.
Semitic.
It's the Webster's Dictionary.
Of or pertaining to a subdivision of Afro-Asiatic Semitic languages, Amharic, Arabic, Aramaic, Syriac, Akkadian, Hebrew, Maltese, Tigrinya, Phoenician, etc. Of or pertaining to the Semites, of or pertaining to one or more Semitic peoples, of or pertaining to the descendants of Shem, the eldest of 3 sons of Noah, of or pertaining to the Israeli, Jewish, or Hebrew people, of or pertaining to any of the religions which originated among the Semites, Abrahamic.
And you know that's our people.
Right.
That's us, sons of Noah.
Semitic.
So he's not talking against himself. He's not
Semitic.
talking against, he's not being anti-Semitic at all.
Right.
This is the word that popular culture, this is the phrase that popular culture likes to use as a big phrase to scare people into saying that you don't like my culture when it's the Jewish culture, because if it sounds powerful, okay, put it like this. Any other culture that you're being racist against, it's either what? You're being racist. You ever notice that? But soon as you talk about Jewish people, you're being anti-Semitic. They make it into a big word. It's no longer racist. It's anti-Semitic, and it makes it sound bigger, and it's still racist. But the thing is, they're offended, but it's not them.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? They're offended over something that's not even them.
Right.
We just listened to the definition right here. They're offended over something that is not them.
Not even them. That's crazy, man.
They are we can go further deeper, man. And I know I wish Drib was here, man, because he really gets into this. He loves this type of stuff, man. But we can go deep into it, man, to whereas the Moors taught pretty much everything, all of the civilization. Like the Moors really civilized people. They got them to start washing up, brushing their teeth, cleaning, cutting their hair. They got them to doing everything. They taught them stuff. And what did they do? They turned around and they knew that they were so smart. They wanted that power. They wanted that. They wanted to have it, so they killed them off.
Right.
So, I could go super deep into it. You know what I'm saying? Because it goes full circle as to why Germany and that other man was really on those people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because of what they were doing. And he did not want that to happen to him because he knew the history of what they did to the Moors. So he didn't want it to happen to his culture. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a real touchy thing to even talk about, to even speak up or bring up. But at the same time, the thing is, originally, that's us.
Right.
And I'm not excluding them because it's Afro and Asiatic.
Right.
Afro-Asiatic. We're all there. It's like they're trying to push us out. You know what I'm saying? No, y'all not Jews no more. Y'all African Americans now.
That's the question I was getting ready to get to was, why is it that they're on an agenda about being separate? I don't get that part.
I never did either. Only thing I can think of is the envy.
Well, that word inclusive gets wishy-washy when you get to talking about certain things.
Correct.
And I think that's where we are now, Like with everything else, you're good enough to do this until we get to this part right here, and then you're not included in this.
Right.
You're not and I think that's a harsh part of reality, and at the same time, you got to know your history.
Right.
We've been programmed to the history that they taught us.
Facts. Because that's what they wanted us to know.
And that's the part of it. We've never just sat down and took the time to learn who we were ourselves.
Ooh.
You know what I'm
Ooh.
saying? And
Ooh. I
when
overstand you.
yeah, when you do that,
Yes,
then
sir.
you're not inclusive. You make yourself not inclusive with the regular people because now you're woke. But everybody don't like woke people. But
Right.
woke people are the ones that are basically, if we had to put a number on it, I say 90% of them are really woke, like woke.
Right.
You know, you can tell by talking to them. You can tell by their body language. You can tell by their everyday actions that, yeah, these people are really about the shit. They're not about it because
The
it
wave is
was
because of just
right.
riding the wave. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, but that's it. I got a partner of mine. That's his DJ name is Asiatic Black, and I always wonder, man, what you know? It was
Right.
been some years. It's been some years ago. Where do you get that from? And then he started telling me, and yeah, he enlightened me on a whole bunch of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. The Asiatic. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
that
sir.
was and was my that was my yeah, that was my
Like your
I'm gonna
wake
say
up call.
yeah, it was the eye opener for me.
Introduction. Your introduction into
Uh-huh.
the yeah. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. That's what's up.
I'm out here on all this other stuff. I'm just hearing what people saying. Nobody's just actually sat down and broke it down to me the way he did.
Right.
But we went to junior high together and we went to separate high schools and I come back, he's like the number one DJ after the army. I come back, he's the number one DJ in the city. I mean in the state rather.
Uh-huh.
And I got behind him and you know, you surround yourself by people that you pick up something from.
Mm-hmm.
So he was one of the people that I picked up. I always had love for music, but I never DJ'd or tried to. But
Right.
that's why I picked up from him. And along the process of learning that, it was him teaching me some stuff. Man.
Yeah, that's raw.
That's what I got. And I was like, wow, okay, well, okay. I am not just a black man. I am more than a black man. I am a man from here. I am this.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you are the creators. You are the innovators. You are of the actual real kings and queens. That's who you are.
Right.
But of course, we've been led down this path and to where, yeah, there are a lot of people, black people out here that actually don't know. And I won't say that they hate themselves, but you're in this position where you actually think you're nothing.
It's a form of, it's a form of self hate.
Yeah.
It's a form of self
And
hate. I definitely agree with that.
it's sad, but like I said, you were led down this path where these people wanted you to go.
Right. Yeah, you don't know no better.
Right. I'd rather be in the woods with a flashlight and a damn something to protect myself, blazing my own path, than to go down a path where people are guiding you and you really don't know.
Right.
And then you're I wouldn't say forced, but that's a good word. Yeah,
It
forced
is. Yeah.
to
That's exactly
believe.
what it is.
Forced to believe what they're telling you,
Yeah.
and all that is basically made up and they made it up for you.
Right. Come on, Ice. Come on, Ice.
Yeah, bro. Been there. I'm telling you, man.
Come
And
on,
that's what
man.
it is. And until and I mean, everybody's on that kick. Well, Kanye's crazy. Kanye's this. No, the dude is. We said it on here before, man. Some of the craziest people in the world are the smartest motherfuckers that you ever, But
Yep.
they get labeled that way.
Yep.
Let's throw away these labels. Let's get down to basic facts.
Yep.
If you say something that I don't know or that's strange to me, I'm not gonna call you crazy. First thing I should do is pick up a book and investigate that shit myself.
Investigate. Thank you.
But like I said, we locked in that, and that's the thing about with the social media stuff now is, you remember we talked about a few years ago in the video game, man. Everybody's so quick to run out and be the first person to tell something.
Right.
You so quick to jump off Facebook and be the first person to post this shit. Take your time and investigate the shit that you're getting ready to put out there, so you actually know what you're talking about.
Right.
You know what you're talking about. You can back up what you say. If the conversation gets past 4 or 5 sentences or 10 or 15 minutes, then shit, you can stay there and talk. It's other people just gonna be listening.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you be that person that's gonna continue the conversation because you know what you're talking about, not the person who's gonna throw in there all the negative shit. No.
Right.
And that's the thing about actual learning. I want to learn so I can tell other people or be able to have a conversation with people that actually go somewhere that actually means something.
Facts.
I don't want to be constant arguing them back and forth over this and no. I want to be the one that sits there and I can actually teach you something.
Right.
I can have you at the end of the conversation say, that
like,
brother
damn, I
said
ain't
this.
never knew that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm 55 years old. I still do it today.
Right.
Somebody else today, it'll be on my mind so much to tomorrow when I get to work, as soon as I get my break, I'm finding out I can about it, yo.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because it was on my mind when I went to sleep.
Right.
I
urge y'all, man. Yeah. Everybody, man, check this. Check out the meaning of Semitic.
Yeah.
Please. Check out the meaning of Semitic and then ask yourself again, man, what is he really trying to tell us?
Right.
Like, for real. I'm going to run through this shit again. Let's run through it. You want to run through it one more time?
One more time.
One more time. Let's go.
Semitic. Of or pertaining to a subdivision of Afro-Asiatic Semitic languages, Amharic, Arabic, Aramaic, Syriac, Akkadian, Hebrew, Maltese, Tigrinya, Phoenician, etc. Of or pertaining to the Semites, of or pertaining to one or more Semitic peoples, of or pertaining to the descendants of Shem, the eldest of 3 sons of Noah, of or pertaining to the Israeli, Jewish, or Hebrew people, of or pertaining to any of the religions which originated among the Semites, Abrahamic. S-E-M-I-T-I-C.
Man, listen. Chilling, man. Chilling. You're just here talking shit, sipping, man. Don't y'all make fun of my Truly, man.
What you got?
Sipping on a Truly.
Truly.
That's the lightweight white tea people. You know what I'm saying?
I got.
I gotta take it easy though. You feel me?
As long as you don't throw that pinky finger up when you're drinking it, y'all, we cool.
No, I ain't gonna throw the. I ain't gonna throw the pinky up. I ain't gonna throw the pinky up. Let's see. We got a small. I got one right here, man. Another one. We gonna get it. I'm gonna.
When was the last time you did a proper cleanse of
kind of explaining about this shit, man. Let's check this one out.
For Jews, Christians, and Muslims. The Book of Psalms says, "If I forgot thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning." But could it be
that sound kind of nasty?
Biblical Jerusalem is actually more than 100 kilometers south of the city we revere today as the Holy City?
Where you back to working at, man? I'm coming to get. I'm
living in the Holy Land. Think so?
I need some plates. Where you at?
They would come and pray after they presented themselves. They would come and pray. And the most interesting part about this Pacific Western Wall.
Look at my guy right there.
And this is the actual prayer. This is the actual Western Wall. Yeah. But understand something. This is not the Temple Wall. This is the Mount Zion Wall that David created before Solomon created the temple. The temple was on this hill right here. This is Mount Moriah Hill.
Tel Arad is an ancient site
beautiful,
close to the Dead Sea. It contains 5 layers of history. including findings from the biblical era. For the average person, it is indeed an impressive sight, but not a holy one. But Hoshua Amerial, who arrived here from Chicago in the late 1980s, is convinced that these are the remains of biblical Jerusalem.
David was right there, and he was first made king in Hebron. Hebron is right there. You see, so what David did, David came out of Hebron. The first act he did, he came out of Hebron, down into this area surrounded by mountains, not on the top of the mountains, where Melchizedek Jerusalem was, but an area surrounded by mountains, and he took a fort. And that fort that he took, it we're standing in today. And that became known as the Citadel of David. But David did something very unique, and all the archaeologists in Israel will tell you this.
Yeah.
Where we're standing at right now is the first in history what is called a king sanctuary.
Hoshua blames 2nd century CE Roman Emperor Hadrian for the belief that Jerusalem is in fact in the Judean hills.
It was a plan. It was an outright Christian conspiracy. The Christian, his name was Hadrian.
Right.
And this was before Christianity actually existed. But Hadrian had a plan because he felt that if the Jews or Hebrew people ever found Mount Zion, that would start a new world order. And so what happened was that he put a proclamation that stopped all Jews or the children of Israel from entering this land, this area, for 200 years. Constantine then came. But Hadrian did something. He renamed all the areas, everything in this area, he renamed it. But he called this city here Aelia Capitolonia. So I have maps that prove and that show that this here is the actual Aelia Capitolonia.
I-24 News has followed Hoshua and his community, known as Beit Israel, or the Tel Arad Israelites. They perform different rituals during Jewish holidays, such as Passover and Sukkot. We also covered their legal struggle against the Israeli Nature and Parks Authority. The group wants to declare Tel Arad a holy place and provide limited access to visitors. However, for now, court decided to leave the situation as it is.
The land people came to me first.
It's funny because they over there fighting for their own shit too.
Let's settle out of court.
Right.
They said we'll give you, and all I like to say, I always say $4 million. They offered me 4 million shekels. So then the judge called me into his chambers and said, Mr. Mariel, you have a landmark case. He said, but I just want to inform you, we're not going to give you the land of Israel.
Hoshua now wants to take the case to the International Court in Hague. Meanwhile, he's very concerned about racial tension in the United States following the death of African-American George Floyd. But his proposal to the African-American community is quite out of the left field.
I'm saying today, it's time for us to stop fighting the police in America, because the police system in America was never set up to protect the black community. And my suggestion is to leave America, to accept Thomas Jefferson's bill.
Settle here in Israel?
The ultimate objective is this is supposed to be the house of prayer for all people. But to answer your question, there's only one place in the world that has been purchased for black Americans, and that's Liberia.
Recently, Hoshua and his family have started to tour the Negev desert, perhaps as a tribute to the wandering Israelites.
That's interesting.
And though most historians and scholars will disagree with him, for him, this must be Jerusalem.
That's interesting. Did you hear that, nigga?
Very, very much so.
He said the only place
but
was bought for us is Liberia.
The thing that got me was when he said, man, shut the place down for 200 years.
Yeah.
And then renamed everything. That's the key part of it, yo.
Mm-hmm.
So you got rid of what it was for 200 years, and then it was renamed something else. Yeah. Wow, that's deep, man. That goes with as far as the history or having a history or being able to link something to something else.
Right, because if you think about it, that's so many generations that nobody will remember.
Right, you figure 200 years, average lifespan is what, 65, 70?
Yep.
That's three generations.
Yep.
3 generations. 70 is 210 years.
And nobody's going to know.
That's crazy, man.
That's what he said. He had a plan. He said he had a plan.
He said, yeah, he had a plan.
Cold game, boy.
And that's what it was. Shut this area off and then come back and rename it 200 years later with names that hopefully motherfuckers ain't forgotten.
Right. Right.
Deep. That's deep.
Because the people that was trying to get there and find it couldn't. They're not gonna find it in them 200 years, and then when they do, it's named something different. So it's not even gonna exist.
One that actually knew what the hell was going on, like he did, man. That's wild, man.
Right.
Learn something new today. I'm gonna spread it tomorrow.
I heard that. We're moving right along, man. Let's check this out, man. I guess this is some local
inflation.
Shit.
It means higher.
I don't know what's going on. Let me get past these what's the name ads, man. But
welcome back to What's New. The Cleveland Metro Parks has something new for bikers.
That's right. It is a brand new bike park that opened this morning. The Cliffs Bike Park is located at the Ohio and Erie Canal Reservation in Cuyahoga Heights. The Metro Park says it includes several first-of-its-kind features in the region, like a paved pump track, outdoor competition course, professional paved jump line, and a youth bike playground. All of that except the youth bike playground. I don't know what that means.
I don't either, but this looks like something I would have had a blast on when I was 13.
I mean, look at the jumps. That's awesome.
I think I would still have a blast on that today.
I'd look awesome on a 3-speed doing that.
Cleveland Cliffs contributed to the opening. Visitors, if you want to go to use this, can park at the Canalway Center. That looks like something we both need to experience.
I'm fucking
Do you remember how much fun we had on the go-karts?
Yes.
I mean...
You mean when I dominated in the go-karts?
When you cut me off at the start line and I could not pass you.
That's right.
That's what I mean.
That's called dominating at the...
Yeah. You did win that fair and square,
yes,
but you drove like a seasoned veteran. You knew what you were doing. You cut me off at the start of the race knowing there's no way. And I was trying to get by her any way I could, and she was...
Shut your bitch ass up, man. Oh, man. Okay. Now...
New details released tonight about the disturbance at the Indian River Juvenile Correctional Facility in Massillon. Overnight, about a dozen youth inmates took control of one section of the facility yesterday by barricading themselves and not allowing employees to leave the property. Today, the Ohio Department of Youth Services held a news conference saying the incident started when one of the inmates took a guard's keys and began unlocking doors to other teens' rooms.
During discussions, the youth indicated they were armed with makeshift weapons created from items inside the school, as well as tools from the vocational construction classrooms.
Oh, shit.
All 12 teens will face new charges, and 6 of them are in the Stark County Jail tonight. The Department of Youth Services also says that after yesterday's incident, security staff will be increased, guards will be equipped with body cameras, and each will be given additional pay.
Look at what you niggas is doing, man.
Unfortunately, we are.
What the hell? Oh, this is another one for here. I don't know what the hell going on here, man. These
are starting tonight with some sad news in Akron, where a 66-year-old woman has died and several people were taken to the hospital late last night.
Check on your peoples.
Overcome by carbon monoxide in their apartment building.
Neil Fisher has been looking into what led to the apartments being filled with the gas, and he joins us now. Neil, good afternoon to you.
Check on your peoples,
Do we know what happened?
Hey, good afternoon, Jay and Betsy. We do know that the maintenance staff turned on all the boilers in their buildings yesterday, and the company that oversees this apartment complex tells me that they suspect that was the issue. This apartment complex has over 1,500 units here at the Timber Top apartment complex, and 20 of them had to be evacuated last night due to dangerously high levels of carbon monoxide.
As our medics were checking them out, it was stated, it was asked of our medics to please take a look at my birds. We found that the birds were deceased.
AIY Properties, which oversees the apartment complex, told me that they are not required to provide carbon monoxide detectors. The fire chief tells me that the carbon monoxide levels were so high, around 900 parts per million. For instance, first responders consider 1,200 parts per million IDLH, or immediately dangerous to life and health. The units here did not have working carbon monoxide detectors. Jay?
Neil, do you know how others who were taken to the hospital are doing this afternoon? Because I understand there were a number of them.
I just spoke with the lieutenant who works for the Akron Fire Department. He told me that he hasn't heard anything, which relatively is a good sign. He said he hasn't heard anything bad, which is a good sign. 7 people went to the hospital last night because of this carbon monoxide, Jay.
All right, Neil Fisher reporting live for us tonight on What's New. Neil, thank you.
Wow, man.
Amelia Sykes.
Man.
Bob Young,
Listen, man,
he stood
check
against.
on y'all peoples, like I said. Check on y'all peoples, man.
Unfortunately, we are
they're
starting
doing
tonight
good.
with some sad news.
Cause this is crazy. That's wild, man.
Wow.
That means.
Damn, man.
Did you hold on? The part that's fucking me up. That's why I'm tripping. The part that's fucking me up is saying that they wasn't required to have carbon monoxide. Is that fucking you up too? Like,
y'all. If you have that anywhere, you supposed to have them things, man.
They turned on all the boiler, like Timber Top is a big name apartments out here. Like a lot of motherfuckers stay there.
Even to turn all of them on at the same time, that's a hazard right there. Enough shit, all of them at the same time,
and nobody was checking because it's getting cold out here.
Man, come on,
and
man.
what they doing is like they getting everything cracked up, cranking the heat on and all that kind of shit. But as a manager, like I don't know, as somebody who, if that's my shit, like I'm gonna make sure.
Right.
I don't know, man. Like I'm like,
I
don't want my building burning down. Like I don't want nothing to happen. I don't want nobody dying, cause they gonna have to pay for that. And bro, they gonna have to pay for that. But see, this is the thing. This is why it's fucking me up. They should have to pay for that, but then in some way, I got a feeling like there's something in me saying the reason why they brung that point up that they wasn't required to have these some bitches is because they finna fuck around and not be liable for this stupid ass shit.
Be liable for that shit, man. You gotta have that, yo. That's just like a damn. That's what I was trying to say a minute ago. It's just like a damn fire detector.
Gots to be, bro. Let me tell you, when we bought this crib, when we bought our crib, bro, they said that was part of the fucking inspection, nigga, that we had to have fucking carbon monoxide detector.
If I'm correct, you are required to have those things in apartment complexes that have those boilers like that, man. You're required to. That new shit is different. That's that old school shit there, man.
Something went wrong, man. Something went wrong.
Yeah, that's that old school shit. Yeah, broilers, that's that old school shit, bro.
Right. You ain't lying. Damn, that shit crazy.
I'm betting that with that old school shit, you are required to have that shit, yo.
Yeah, you got to. They're gonna have to get some kind of justice some way, man.
Hi everyone.
In the fucking broiler room.
Yeah, they got to, man. Shit, man. Let's get this motherfucker moving along, man. That shit is wild, though.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We're gonna have to follow that up. We're gonna have to follow that up because I gotta see about this shit. Because like you said, it's gotta be some kind of fucking stipulation. It's gotta be written somewhere that they gotta have that shit in their boiler room. If they got them kind of brothers, because they emit carbon monoxide.
And I heard him say, somebody was saying, check my birds, they're dying. That's the first sign right there, yo.
Right.
That's the first sign. If you got birds or any kind of damn pet, they're gonna be the first to go, yo.
And they're gonna be sick and shit. Yeah. Man.
That's
crazy.
In this week's Crime Files, 2 teenagers going door to door searching for help after escaping a house of horrors. Here's Fox 26's Randy
I know
Wallace.
you've seen about it, right?
The twins are seen on this ringtone video. The girl is holding a pair of handcuffs. The homeowners are away in Dallas.
You need some help?
Yes. Can you put a lot of sand, please?
Jesus.
What's wrong with you?
I said the same thing.
What happened?
Please. We just need someone to be right now.
No, we can't do that.
The twins also showed up at this man's door.
Them away.
And I spoke to them. I didn't open the door. I was like, oh, so what can I do for you? And they were like, please, we need a place to sleep. And I was like, no, I don't know you, so please get off my property.
The twins are now in CPS custody getting treated at a hospital. They told police they had been handcuffed.
What do you think about this?
It's heartbreaking.
Why the fuck they got this nigga talking and he ain't even help,
On
bro?
Monday, their mother, 40-year-old Zakiya Duncan, and her 27-year-old boyfriend, Joe Vitero, and 5 boys ranging in age from 7 to 14 were all subject of an Amber Alert. The couple was arrested in Louisiana. The 5 boys are with relatives. According to court documents, Duncan has been convicted of injury to a child in Baton Rouge. According to court documents, Duncan has been convicted of cruelty to a child in Louisiana. Court documents from 2012 in Baton Rouge state she submerged a 5-year-old child in hot water, causing serious burns. Police say they found a 20-month-old infant wrapped in clothing with his hands bound. The document states Duncan and her then-boyfriend made the victim do push-ups for an hour and forced the child to sleep on a closet floor. Boards were placed in front of the closet door to keep the victim from escaping and stealing food from the kitchen. Duncan was on probation from 2013 to 2020.
Now to the desperate effort to find a missing 2-year-old girl. Harris County investigators say they fear the worst after police say her father strangled her mother to death. Here's Fox 26's Sherman DeSalle.
Why would he do something like this, and why would he do it in front of his children?
Trying to find the baby right now.
And it is heartbreaking, it really is.
Nora Reed says her daughter Nancy's life was in jeopardy, and her last attempt to get away from her common-law husband, Jiron Lee, cost her everything.
He has ruined her life and my sister's life. He has done a lot of damage to my mom's life. While he used to live with my mom, they both stayed with my mom.
Police say the night of October 18th, they responded to a call at this Sonesta Hotel on Bay Area Road. Lee admitted to officers he choked Reed after claiming she was choking one of their young children. 2 young girls, 1 and 3 years old, were in the hotel room at the time, but police say they were not hurt. Nancy Reed later died in the hospital. While investigating, police learned another child, Nadia Lee, had been missing before this incident. She was last seen at Jiron's apartment 2 days before in Pasadena. And evidence found so far indicates little Nadia may be dead.
Oh my God. Come on,
Crews
man.
are even checking a bayou nearby.
While we do still have hope that she is found, we do have to put in efforts to search with Tim just to see if we can locate her in any means.
We're going to continue checking the bio in case something happened in there and something has possibly not floated yet.
He remains in jail. He's not cooperating with police on Nadia's whereabouts. Nora Reed says her loving daughter didn't deserve this and hopes others dealing with domestic violence will run for their own safety.
The first sign of domestic violence, I would just advise whoever's in it to get out. Get out as fast as you can.
Some new video is showing the moments an armed robber storms into this washateria on Houston's northwest side, terrifying a young child. So this happened back in August. A man with a gun went inside the business on Wirt and demanded an employee get money from the register. And then in this video, you'll see he just eventually decides to run away. Well, only on Fox, the mother shares her heartbreak after her son and his wife were identified as the two bodies found near an oil field in Baytown. Fox 26's Tiffany Justice with this exclusive interview.
I can't get the guy's picture out of my head. You know, I can't get the horns out of my head. Yeah. I believe he was a walking devil.
Baytown officials releasing the names of the man and woman found dead in an oil field. Police have connected them as victims of 33-year-old Ron Welch, the suspect who went on a deadly shooting rampage, killing 2 and injuring 2 others. Scott Nolet's mother speaking with us Tuesday, saying the bodies of her son and his common-law wife, Violet Parrish, lay decomposing for at least a week or 2 prior to that rampage.
I don't know why they were out in the oil field. I can just assume that they were overlooking the water after work, and because they always like to be near the water.
Suzanne says she believes Ron knew her son, but doesn't understand why he killed him, later going back to the scene to try to say goodbye.
That moment was very hard because I could see how their bodies were laying. There was just so much blood around them, and that's why I'm assuming they got shot multiple times. And the smell was very, very bad.
She says Scott was a talented tattoo artist and always sported a smile. For this mother, her love will never end.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Damn, that's
And
great.
I used to sing him, Scotty boy, oh my Scotty boy. He'll always be my baby.
Damn.
Now to this story, a mother confessed to killing her own 5-year-old daughter and is now charged with capital murder. With this story tonight.
I'll say this, it might sound harsh or whatever, but I need to say this shit, man. For all you people out there that don't like kids or don't want kids or nothing, don't do the shit to have them, yo.
Facts.
It don't take, you ain't got to sign, you can go down there and tell them to tie your tubes. You can go down there and tell them to give you a damn vasectomy. That shit ain't, go get the shit done.
Yeah, the shit she was doing was unacceptable.
Don't
shit is.
Don't have them and then treat them like shit, yo. And for you women,
they said a 2-year-old. They said
like
they put a fucking 2-year-old in scalding hot water and the closet and bound their hands.
Man,
yeah, this bitch only got fucking probation, bro.
Until 2020, man. Like I said, go get that done, ladies. If you with a dude that don't like it, don't be with that motherfucker, man. That shit is a package deal. I come along with my kids. Facts. It ain't just and then you treat them like shit.
Facts.
That's not how the shit works, man.
Facts,
bro. Yo, putting kids in the fucking stove and putting them in the fucking garbage cans and shit. Man, get the fuck out of here, yo. Stop doing this shit to have them.
A cop.
Facts.
Go get your fucking self fixed the way you won't have them. Then you can go out here and, like I said, excuse my language, you out here, I don't give a fuck if who you fucking. You ain't got
facts.
You ain't got to worry about it.
Right.
And y'all, man, come on, brother.
This shit is ridiculous.
If no fucking kids, turn her ass in. Then you don't have nothing to do with her, yo. Soon as you see it, that's man, that shit is crazy, man.
Hell yeah.
Them kids, you can see where the damn handcuffs had fucking
yes.
One of those kids' arms and shit.
Yes,
man.
bro. Like my thing is, okay, so this is what I gotta say about that shit. Like shame on that black dude because the person they didn't actually show what it was, but the person that helped her helped the kids was a white lady. She brung them in. She brung them in her house. She put the top. She wrapped the blanket around them. She fed them, and then she called the police. You know what I'm saying? So this is my thing. As a cognizant adult, in this society. We know these youngsters are crazy. We know kids are wild. We know they crazy. Right. But when a kid shows up to your house in the middle of the night with hardly nothing on, and you can hear it in her voice, you can hear it in their voice, you have to do your duty as a parent, as a person. Like something should click and say, hey, I don't give a fuck if you got to call the police and sit on the phone with the police on speakerphone and say, hey, I'm about to invite these 2 kids in. They hurt somebody. Y'all need to get a unit over here or whatever. Because that's what, in all essence, that's what the police is for. Shit like that. For shit like this. You know what I'm saying? This is their job to do that, to come to your house when you call them in and say, hey, this is going on. This is what's cracking.
Ain't even got left to come in. Just tell them to sit down and you calling somebody to help them.
Facts. You could do that. You could do that too.
They'd have sat right there on that porch. They wasn't trying to run away or no shit like that, man.
They just said they needed somewhere to be. The little girl had the handcuffs on, like listen, man.
Yeah, they had just broken out of them. She was carrying them to show people that, we just broke out of these. Look at my arm. Man, come on, bro. That,
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. You already know. Like this shit right here.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
That shit right there, bro.
We are better as a people than that, man.
This one of them stories that really will fuck with your soul, man. As like you really don't want to. Like I don't know, man. These people, bro. Like what in the fuck was they thinking? What was their logic? What is their logic behind this type of shit, man? I don't get it, man. But it's all kind
pulls over a guy who has kidnapped children.
Shit going on. Check this shit out.
And it had to be one of the nicest arrests we've ever seen. The person did resist. The person did not immediately respond to command. And he was not shot. He was not tased. Hell, he didn't even pull out a gun on them. While the children are in the car being kidnapped. Here's video.
Stop the truck! Now! Pull into the parking lot! Why are you doing with the kids? What's going on? Roll the window down, bro. These not your car? Step out of the car. Step out of the car, bro. Okay, step out of the car. Help me out here. It's not you? Alright, let me figure it out, okay? Put that bottle away. Okay, put the bottle away. Okay. Then I have you step out of the car and help me out. Okay? What do you mean not you? Okay. So let me figure it out. I don't know what's going on. Step out till you figure it out. You're gonna step out. I cannot let you. Give me the car keys. Give me the car keys. Give me the car keys. I know where your dad is. I know where your dad is. I saw him running this way. I'm not asking you twice. Give me the car keys. Alright. I step out. I need to figure out. I cannot let you in the car. If I step out, you're gonna punch me. I'm not gonna punch you, bro. No, I promise you. I promise you. Is this? Yeah. All right, step out of the car. It's not like that. Step out of the car, bro. Step out of the car. Step out of the car. Step out of the car. Stay here.
Fascinating.
Hell yeah, it is.
Let's put his picture up, full mask, his mugshot. So he was arrested. Why? Because he kidnapped children. Tampa, Florida. This happened in Hillsborough County. That was a county deputy sheriff you saw. He did rescue 2 children. Big ups to him for doing that. This was minutes after their father's truck was carjacked with those children still inside. The video shows the deputy gently handling. Gently. I mean, he called him bro. He said, bro, help me out here. Roll down your window, please. Why not break the window? He got children in there. He could have pulled off. He resisted arrest. You told him multiple times, get out the car. He never did. The carjacker and the kidnapper is 37-year-old Kevin Smith. And he was charged with 2 counts of felony kidnapping and 1 count of grand theft auto. The 2 children, they were 4 and 8.
He handled it the
4
right way.
and 8. Okay? Riding with a stranger, just been kidnapped. And here comes Officer Too Damn Friendly. They were not injured during the incident. They were returned safely to their father. The Hillsborough County deputy, his name, let's put a picture up. His name is Jonathan Pazmino Alvarez. Was serving a warrant when he saw the frantic father flagging him down and yelling, "He just took my truck with my kids." And once again, I'm going to say big ups to that deputy for being sharp. But I cannot dismiss the reality of how he dealt with a kidnapper compared to how some other cops would deal with a person who, I don't know, forgot to turn on their turn signal. The deputy quickly gave chase and eventually ordered Smith to pull into a parking lot where one of the children told the deputy, "The guy robbed my dad's car." According to deputies, Smith has a criminal history dating back to 2003. It's unclear Smith knew the kids were inside the truck. He also refused to speak to the deputy after being read his Miranda rights. According to the deputy, he says his focus was keeping everybody calm, which is a good de-escalation tactic. Typically, deputies come into these calls with guns drawn and getting everyone out of the vehicle one by one. When kids are involved, though, that changes everything. My priority at that point was the lives of 2 kids, said the deputy. Maybe he has a point. According to a quote from Fox 13, he said, "From the moment I opened that door, he looked nervous. But at the same time, I was just looking at his hands, making sure he did not do any quick movements with them. That's why I took control of one hand right away. But in my hand, I wanted to make sure that he got me the keys because I didn't want him to take off again." Let me give some background to this deputy. And you make the decision. Was this appropriate? Was this too lenient because something have happened to those kids? Or should this be exactly the protocol of policing? Background on the deputy. He moved to Florida from Ecuador in 2012, became a citizen, and dreamed of one day becoming a law enforcement officer. He said, and I quote, "I used to be an aquatics director for the YMCA. I used to do ropes, courses, and team building. So I was surrounded by kids all the time. That experience shaped how he handled this call. The deputy was just as relieved as the dad." So let me analyze this. And I'm going to be very fair here. I do think he was too lenient. I do think he took too much time to get that kidnapper out of the car and away from those children. While that person is in arm's length of those children are in complete danger. Yes, it would have been hard to watch for the kids to see somebody snatched out of a car. But I'd rather the risk of that than this guy doing something in a split second because of the reaction of the police. Okay, all right, that's just my thoughts on it. And once again, what's the contrast? Police officers killing people for simple traffic violations, and they tend to be what? Black and brown. All right, Sharon, thoughts here.
Yeah, and this officer, and thank goodness, thank God that things worked out appropriately here. But he was so friendly, and so it was almost like he was, just shaking his hand, the perp here. And look at him. This is kind of ridiculous here because until you do get the keys, guess what else is a deadly weapon? The vehicle itself, it's still running. It felt like, Dr. Ritchie, it wasn't until, I guess it was the 8-year-old who kind of said, "That's not my dad." Like, come on with it. Let's come on with it here. That's not my dad. That he finally insisted now that you must get out of the car.
And listen, the child is basically saying, what is taking y'all so long? This man is not my dad.
No, don't put no words in the child's mouth. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. But honestly, for me, I think that he handled this shit the right way. Because one thing you don't want to do is, like, it's already traumatizing enough for the kids. One thing you don't want to do is add more trauma to it. You know what I'm saying? It was polite, yeah, and it was. Granted, it took him a while because dude didn't know what he was. Dude was trying to act like he ain't know what he was about to do. Like it's not me, it's not me. And the whole time he trying to tell him like I ain't trying to be no kidnapper. I think he just jumped in the car, thought it was a car. He just was about to steal that car. He didn't know them kids was in that thing. That's why he was talking about it's not me, it's not me. Talking about kidnapping shit. Cause that's what I think he was alluding to. Cause he probably was like high. He looked like a meth monster. You know what I'm saying? I think he handled it the right way, man. I don't really see nothing wrong, man. People always want to see people beat up or see people fucked up. I don't want to see nobody getting fucked up by no police, black, white, whatever, unless they really deserve to get fucked up. Like, and I mean, this nigga finna get his time. It ain't like he finna walk scot free. You know what I'm saying? He finna get punished for what he did. I mean, so what? The dude didn't go upside his fucking head. Maybe that ain't the way he wanted to act. You know, maybe that ain't the way this dude moved. Now if Rashad Ritchie would have came in and be like, this Mexican officer used to beat up niggas for nothing for tail lights, beat up niggas with broken tail lights, then I'll be like, oh yeah, he on some bullshit. But all in all, I think that's just how this nigga was. I think he a cool cop. You can't put shit for that one cop do. You know what I'm saying, on all of them. Like you can't put that might not be this dude demeanor, man. He might not be the rougher motherfucker up type.
I'd have snatched his ass out that motherfucker though.
A little quicker, yeah.
You done kidnapped some fucking kids, man.
Now I will say once it was in park and I had the keys, yeah, as soon as the keys came, I say a little quicker, yeah. But I mean I think he handled it the right way. But yeah. He said you'd have snatched his arm out to sock it up.
Yeah, I snatched that motherfucker arm out the socket, man. Ain't no goddamn way, bro.
Yeah, I feel it. Oh, hey.
Versus motherfucking cops treat motherfuckers worse, bad for less shit. Yeah, he'd have got snatched out of there, yo.
That's what I'm saying. Like as far as like in the full aspect of shit, like I can't say if Rashad would have told me that this cop beat up on niggas for broken tail lights, I'd have definitely been like, yeah, he really need to snatch this nigga out as much as he be beating up on niggas. You know what I'm saying? But I can't say that because I ain't never seen this cop beat up on no niggas. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like I just got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he ain't that guy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he the pushover cop. Like you feel me? Because he seemed like it here a little bit. I mean, he did get the shit back. He did get the car back. Nobody was hurt. Nobody got tased or shot up. Cause shit, definitely not shot. One of them bullets could have hit them kids. Could have went straight.
Right.
Could have went straight through him. You know what I'm saying? And hit them kids. So, but yeah, I mean, I will agree that he could have got him out quicker. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. But I think the good outweighs the bad. I don't think there's too much bad in this story. I think it's all a good story, honestly. You know what I mean? That two kids was, you know what I'm saying, rescued from being kidnapped, man. And all in all, I think that's what we really need to be focusing on sometime. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, they get the news and they take this shit to a whole new level trying to look for different narratives. And I think that, honestly, we kind of should be focusing on that part, on the good, on the super good. Like, that shit was pretty damn
bad trade
cool.
deals.
Yeah, man.
These motherfuckers in their political ads.
I got a big ass gun.
A robbery attempt is nipped in the bud when an armed man finds himself.
I got a big ass gun.
A robbery attempt is nipped in the bud when an armed man finds himself up against a convenience store worker with his own weapon.
Yeah. Put it back. All right, I'm going. Put it back.
It happened on September 9th in Pensacola, Florida. The Escambia County Sheriff's Office released this security video saying the suspect, 32-year-old Rakeem Stephen Tate, turned a bad decision into a worse decision when he entered the store armed. Security footage shows Tate walking inside carrying a gun under his right arm. He walks around the store before speaking with someone who is off camera.
I don't mean no harm. I'm just not from around here. What you got in your hand, bro? I got a big gun. But I'm not from around here is what I'm saying. I'm from Chicago, bro.
Escambia County officials say the clerk noticed Tate was armed before he entered the store and ran to the back room to arm himself with his personal weapon.
I see you. What's that?
After leaving the store, Tate was charged with openly carrying a prohibited weapon and attempted robbery with a firearm. Officials with the Escambia County Sheriff's Office posted the security footage on Facebook, saying it was, quote, not a good time for a robbery. And while Tate may be from Chicago,
but I'm not from around here is what I'm saying. I'm from Chicago, bro.
Officials went on to write, quote, you're not in Chicago anymore. You're under arrest. For the latest developments in this story and all things true crime, stay with Long Crime Network.
I'm sleep, bro.
That's crazy though. I'm glad he didn't get shot.
Right?
Cause I'm like, oh boy, what's the comedian name that said if he'd have been at the Capitol when they came up in there, it'd have been.
My nigga earthquake, nigga.
Yeah, you motherfucking right.
Pow! Got me one. The nigga said, you better get down here. We shooting wave.
Yeah, he said, hey, give me your gun. You not gonna shoot nobody? Give me your gun.
Bah! Got me another one.
That was a free chance to shoot a motherfucker in. Well, I'm glad he didn't get shot, but nah, you come up in here with that motherfucker, bro. I'm laying your ass out, yo.
That was a shotgun too. That's crazy.
Shit, man.
What was he thinking? Like what? I don't even know what that means. I'm from Chicago, bro.
The thing about it though, and it'll come out when he go to court, it'll be one of them charges get dropped. Cause he ain't say he was robbing shit. He ain't say give me nothing. He ain't say give me.
He didn't. Dude asked him what you got, right. And he said, "Oh, I got a big ass gun." He was like, "But I'm not from around here, bro." Like
he ain't say, "Give me shit." Y'all can't put robbing on him. He just walked in the store with a big ass gun.
Facts.
And if I had been that clerk out of, cause they ain't lying, bro. I was working when I got in the Army when I first started going to Jack State. I was working at this little convenience store, right? Motherfuckers came in there to rob the store. I hit the fucking button and I'm in the cooler. When them motherfuckers came, when the police came, I had finished about 5 Coronas, man.
Hell nah.
Shit, no lie.
Down there drinking them bitches, huh?
Next night I came in there, I had my book bag with my shit in my book bag. Yeah. I'm not popping bro. I'm finna go over here to the cooler. Y'all just get whatever y'all want. Y'all got guns and shit. Y'all just get whatever y'all want. Pop the register. No register. I'm not doing that. Y'all can take whatever you want. I'm just finna go over here in this cooler. And I went in the cooler.
That nigga said, I'm about to chill.
I had all this shit on. Everything came. Yeah, it was 2 dudes. One was about 6 foot. The other about 5'7". Do. What was you? Hey, I went in the motherfucking cooler. I had to drink me something to calm me down because they came in here with pistols.
Right.
The next day, I went in there with my shit in that damn backpack. It will not happen again like that.
Right.
Never. It won't happen like that no more. You come in here with that motherfucker and you pull it out. Yeah, I'm popping the shit out of your ass.
Facts.
You gonna get it. You gonna fucking get it. But yeah, I'm glad, dude didn't get hurt, but he ain't robbed no store. He just went in there with a fucking gun, yo.
Facts. That's all he did. So a good lawyer gonna eat that up, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
It's be over with.
Point blank period. He just walked in there with a gun. He ain't asked you to give him nothing. He ain't say open no register.
Right. None of that. Let me see. Let's check out what Chapo.
An uphill battle for El Chapo, but the man nicknamed Shorty tonight is in a do-or-die situation. The convicted Sinaloa cartel boss, who was responsible for 80% of Chicago's illegal drug trade, trying to do something that would convince a court he was wronged by U.S. prosecutors or die in prison on a life sentence for racketeering conspiracy. The firefight that brought down El Chapo blazed almost 9 years ago when Mexican commandos barged into his beachfront hotel room. At the time, Chapo was wanted in Chicago on federal charges and under indictment in several other U.S. cities. He eventually was extradited to Brooklyn, New York, in what some considered a preferential power play by the then U.S. Attorney General who once worked there. After conviction, Chapo was sent here for life, the airtight Supermax prison in Colorado. Tonight from here, the drug kingpin has filed this new court request that he be freed or retried. The document oddly signed by El Chapo Guzman himself and not an attorney.
How does a guy worth billions of dollars, albeit in prison, not have a lawyer handle it?
Yeah, you think he could afford a lawyer. Presumably he's got some advice behind the scenes, but yeah, on the face of it, he's applying for it himself.
Former federal prosecutor and ABC7 legal analyst Gil Sofer tonight has reviewed Chapo's filing for the I-Team. It is a fairly standard habeas corpus petition that rips his defense attorneys, claims unfair extradition by the U.S., and unconstitutional treatment by prosecutors.
What he's seeking and what this seeks is, it's another bite at the apple. He lost his trial, he lost on appeal, but this is a mechanism for him to say, despite all of that, I'm still entitled to a reversal of my conviction and a new trial because my constitutional rights were violated.
El Chapo's uphill battle may not be void of legal assistance altogether, according to former Assistant U.S. Attorney Sofer, but the trick bag for this drug lord is that he supposedly surrendered all of his illicit wealth to the government. Paying a big legal tab from an offshore account might raise a few suspicions. Rob?
Yeah.
Right, of course.
At the top of the program, we told you about a new assessment from
Rob, this is an uphill battle.
Motherfucker gave all the money out of an offshore account to the government. Man, get the fuck.
At the top of the program, we told you about a new assessment from a top Homeland Security official describing the threat environment ahead of the midterm elections as, quote, incredibly heightened. Also just in, Arizona's Secretary of State tonight says she's sent additional reports of what they call multiple, potential voter intimidation to the state's Attorney General's office and the Federal Justice Department. Now, we should point out the Secretary of State, Katie Hobbs, is the Democrat running for governor in the state. In any event, the new alleged incidents come in addition to the one that got so much attention over the weekend. CNN's Kyung La has more.
Outside an early ballot drop box in Mesa, Arizona. 2 men, armed, wearing tactical gear, watching voters. A vigil taking place over multiple nights.
Hi, guys.
One woman, a Phoenix area grandmother, decided to confront them.
Okay. Hey, don't touch me.
Why did you decide to go out there?
I'm standing up and pushing back against those people and standing up for everybody's right to vote. You don't mind if I set up right here, do you? Without fear of retaliation or any kind of intimidation. Hi, how are you?
She asked we not show her face because she did this. Went right up in the armed man's face.
You know, I don't talk. I take care of business. I go out there and I do what I have to do. Nice to meet you. I push back against these kind of people who are intimidating voters. No, he's putting that in my face. I'm sitting down. He's with a gun standing over top of me. And I'm standing up and pushing back against those people and standing up for everybody's right to vote without fear of retaliation or any kind of intimidation. I'm just sitting here. I'm not even communicating with them. I'm sitting right here. You know, seeing that, you would think you were in, you know, some autocratic nation and not the United States of America.
2 outdoor ballot drop boxes in Maricopa County have become an election flashpoint. Around the clock, so-called ballot watchers are camped out. Late Sunday night, we saw this group of women at the same drop box.
You're not supposed to talk to anybody? I'm not going to. Thank you.
They didn't want to talk. At another drop box in downtown Phoenix, they're photographing voters. And already, these actions are impacting how voters feel. According to complaints filed and referred to the Department of Justice last week, one voter complained he was called a mule. That's a reference to a conspiracy movie that spread lies about the 2020 election.
I'm talking about people who have spread lies.
To Maricopa County Board Supervisor Bill Gates, a Republican who has defended the election process, 2 years of lies have come to this.
Why are you in camouflage? From what? How's that going to keep people from seeing you? You're in a parking lot. We're really losing rationality and logic here.
Arizona has lived through the discredited partisan review of Maricopa County's 2020 ballots. And now Republicans on the midterm ballot, like gubernatorial nominee Carrie Lake, are raising doubts about this November's election before a single vote has even been counted.
I'm afraid that it probably is not going to be completely fair. I wish I could sit here and say I have complete faith in this system. I don't have faith in this system.
We begin to look at
defining
fence.
Republican Secretary of State nominee Mark Fincham urged followers on social media to watch all drop boxes and made a conspiracy reference to Democratic donor George Soros.
This is why we have elections, to avoid these sort of confrontations. It's been normalized in some way over the past few years. But we're not going to normalize it here in Maricopa County. I encourage people, let's take the temperature down.
Ken Locke joins us now from Mesa, Arizona. So I understand the sheriff of Maricopa County has now weighed in on these incidents as well.
He says that basically this doesn't meet a threshold for a crime. He was specifically asked, what can you do about this? And he says he's going to expend resources. I can see 2 sheriff's patrol vehicles sitting nearby. They are keeping watch on this. There are undercover deputies here as well. But that there is a right to bear arms here in Arizona. And the tactical gear, while he considers it very unfortunate, it is clothing of their choosing. And what is still happening out here, Anderson, is this is the box over my right shoulder, very innocuous. We are seeing people vote, but this is still continuing. You can see these folks on these lawn chairs. It doesn't appear any of this particular group is armed. That's usually when the sun comes down that people here and deputies here have told us that they show up. The sheriff did say that he's working with the Department of Justice to see if any of this might be impeding the vote and if this is a violation of a federal crime. One thing I should add, Anderson, is that a lawsuit has been filed by a couple of activist groups and organizations seeing if they do actually believe that this is a violation of civil rights of a voter and hoping to stop this. Anderson?
Ken Locke, appreciate it. Thanks.
Man. That's tough, ain't it?
Yeah, man.
So, look. Fuck them people. Get y'all ass out there and vote for y'all motherfucking, y'all city, y'all government, y'all county people that y'all think is going to get in there and do something and help y'all out. Fuck them people. They trying to bully you. Fuck them people. For real.
Right.
Get in there and vote. Shit, you ain't even got to... man, listen. Them people ain't going to do shit to you. They can't. They just there for intimidation.
Intimidation.
This should be showing y'all something right here. All this kind of shit. And listen to that whole... That chick, these Republicans and them people are sitting up here following this whole Trump blueprint like it's going to work for them. And they're going to say, I don't feel that the system is, you don't have no faith in the system. It's fucked up. Bitch, get your ass out of here. That's the same shit they seen Trump do. Y'all motherfuckers is finna sit up here and fall for the same shit again.
Yup.
Y'all stupid asses. Y'all need to cut that shit out.
That is it.
Like, for real. Real shit. Man. But shit, we ain't gonna hold y'all up no longer, man.
Hey, yo, one more thing.
What's up? What you got for me? What you got?
Hey, listen, man.
The
biggest sports show in America is live in Jackson, Mississippi this Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, college game day.
Bet.
is in Jackson, Mississippi this Saturday morning.
Okay. Let me see.
Jackson
Do they
Southern
got an
University.
ad for that shit? Let's
It
see.
goes down. I've been telling y'all since we began this, since football season started, even before that, the man came with a plan, man. Dion is down there, and Snoop and Rick
Mm-hmm.
Ross and Yellow Beezy was at home. He performed homecoming last week, yo.
Oh, that's dope.
But man, th- get up this Saturday morning, tune in.
Okay.
In the city, it's going down. You know, Desmond Howard saw him the other day. They there. You know, it's gonna happen.
Right.
You know, but yeah,
Oh
just
yeah.
a little disclaimer, man. It went pretty good last week. Dion had got out and told the people to cut the crime down because it was homecoming and a lot of people was coming into town. A lot of people was coming to visit. A lot of alumni was in town. He had some special guests in town. Cut the crime down.
Right. That's what's up.
Thing goes for this weekend. It's even a bigger spectacle than last weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and the same thing applies. But we shouldn't just be doing that when things like this happen. It should be an everyday thing, man. Cut this crime down.
Yeah. For sure. I'm
Go
glad you touching on that, man. Please cut this shit out.
there is there is a there is a push for that city, like especially after the water crisis and all that just happened.
Mm-hmm.
To just turn stuff around, man. And this is another move in the right direction, yo.
Most definitely.
Another move in the right direction. You know, you got the coach pulling for the team, the coach pulling for the school, the coach pulling for the SWAC. Man, let's pull for him, yo. Let's get behind this cat, man, because he's bringing the exposure there.
Mm-hmm.
He's bringing it there. Everybody eating. You got business. I don't care if you selling t-shirts, if you making hats, if you got socks with JSU stuff. It's everybody eating, yo. Local restaurants, hotels, y'all eating,
Oh,
man.
that's hard. That's hard.
You know what I mean? The venues, all the venues, you know, the people going to see the Black History Museum while they in town and all that. Everything, everybody is eating, man.
For sure.
And it happened, but we gotta stop. We gotta get all that crime out the way, yo.
Yeah, we
No,
do. Most
like,
definitely.
it's a city ran by the black people. There's only a few people in some serious offices around there. You know, everybody else is black. You know,
We gotta
so
get us in there, and that's everywhere. And I don't mean the
but,
token
but
us. I mean the real us.
yeah,
Real us that's gonna do the shit.
real us, the people that are looking at the future,
Mm-hmm.
not in the past, not the jokers that had their hands in their pocket for the last 12, 15 years, man. We need to get new people in there that's looking toward the future that wants change,
Facts.
is looking for it, you know. And I'm telling y'all need to get behind Dion, get behind his university, you know, the streets, neighborhoods, communities, North Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
South Jackson, West Jackson. All, man, come on, man. This is the time right here, yo. And it's gonna only lead to something bigger and better after football season, you
You
know.
know it. You know it.
But gotta happen, man. They trying to get that stadium there uh, for the school. You know, Dion gave up his whole salary. He ain't want to get paid. He put his money over there towards getting his stadium built, man. You
That's
know,
dope.
that's a hard pill to swallow for anybody. Dude,
That's dope.
yeah, he a millionaire already. The dude got money already, yo. So what
That's
the
dope.
university's gonna pay me, I'm gonna put this and let's build onto it and get us a stadium around here, yo.
Right.
So
And you know he got businesses and investments and stuff that make him bread every
yeah,
day. You know he do.
he got the airline to charter the team flights, man. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
it's too far for us to drive, we flying now. You know, Strahan did the team suits, man. You know, it's just Under Armour is the sponsor. Man, them jokers
That's
got
hard.
6 to 8 damn uniforms, yo.
That's hard.
Yeah, it's happening. You know, it's happening, but he can only do so much. So
Right.
yeah, everybody that's listening, people in Jackson, man, get behind that guy. If you out here listening and watching us, yeah, tune in Saturday morning, man, and be blessed. I'm serious, be blessed because he gonna give you something.
What time
You
it
know,
come on?
I think it starts at I want to say 10 o'clock.
Okay.
I
I'm
say
there.
it starts at 10 o'clock Saturday morning.
I'm definitely there. Matter
Always,
of
I
fact,
get
we could
it's
do
on.
we could do a watch if y'all want. We could do a watch.
Man, let's do that. Let's do
Bet.
that, yo.
Let's do that. Let's do that. We're gonna watch it. We're
Let's,
gonna do it on the thing. We're gonna
let's
do a
do that, man.
watch Saturday, 10 o'clock. Let me see.
Yeah.
I ain't got shit going on. Saturday, 10 o'clock. Uh, college game day watch, man. Jackson State.
Yeah.
Done deal.
Jackson, and then one more thing before I get out of here, all you guys that hated and all them haters and all them people out there, the guy from a couple weeks ago that wouldn't shake his hand
Oh,
and the girl after the game,
yeah, yeah.
dude, I'm not gonna kind of make this personally, but I am.
Uh huh.
You just woke up, bro. You poked the bear, man. You poked the bear, bro.
Yeah.
I promise you, you poked the bear. You know, every week after that's happened, it's just got more spotlight on the bear, bro. You poked the
Crazy.
bear when you did that, man. You poked the bear when you did that, man.
Yeah. He got in his
So
feelings, man. He got in
as
his feelings about that
yeah,
shit.
just sit your ass back and wait for us next season because you got to come to us. Next year I don't care if it's homecoming or whatever. You got to come to us, man. We ain't gonna curse you like your
Facts.
players did us. We ain't gonna curse you like your fans did us. And hopefully you'll shake that man's hand next year, man.
Damn.
But because you did what you did, man, you need to.
It
Did you
is
see
what it is.
you need to see the remix? The boy the Sway God did his remix on
Yeah,
that.
we did that. We checked it out
Come
last
on,
week on there.
man. Come on, man.
Check this
Come on,
out,
man.
dude.
You done gave the man a whole new logo
Yeah,
to
and
put
it's
on
going
t-shirts.
too.
Was selling out last week, yo.
Yes, that shit is hilarious, man.
Who is Swag? That it sold out. They sold them. They sold out
They sold them
last
out.
at homecoming, man.
Who ain't swag?
I'm telling you, man. It was more people had that shirt on than people that actually had a shirt that said Jazz Shoe, bro.
Wow, who ain't swag? That's funny
Hey,
as hell.
and then too, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, this that pink out game for breast cancer, man. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. The
I'm
kids got to
not. If
wear
I'm
that
not,
stuff to school
I think
tomorrow.
it. Yeah, it has to be. It's got to be this game because this the last game of October. This the last home game of October. So yeah, this that pink out game, man. So
Okay.
put a pink T-shirt, grab a pink washcloth, and shake it while game day's going on for the breast cancer victims, died of breast cancer and breast
And
cancer
and
survivors and
survivors, right? Hmm.
people that are going through that right now, man. I wish that on
Yeah,
nobody. But,
right. We got a
yeah,
survivor in our organization.
yeah, that's what's
Thank
up.
God she went through it for the last couple of years and she survived. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? She had, chemo and all that. She's up doing good. I seen her at the parade. Matter of fact, seen her at Juneteenth. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that's beautiful. So, and on the other hand, I ain't even gonna do that, man. I ain't gonna do that, but there's some stuff there's some other citywide stuff going on about that ain't even, you know, but maybe I can get my partner man to come on and talk about it. 32 Voyage, Mr. 32 Voyage, man. My dog LJ, man. If I can get him on here to talk about that, talk about his little voyages and stuff, the stuff that he got going on. But I'm gonna be
Yeah.
trying to get some guests in here, man, for real, to talk some shit with us, and like I did, like with Rye and a couple other people, man, so we can get some stuff going. But yeah, I'm just trying to expand, man, and do some. I'm trying to turn up, cause you know what I'm saying, for real, for real. So hopefully soon we'll be in the spot, and it'll be like like a bigger little studio, I'll be doing this shit from my office. Um, hopefully, huh?
Saturday. We'll see y'all Saturday morning, 10 o'clock.
Saturday, 10 o'clock, the Watch
Yes,
Show.
sir. Watch show. Yeah,
All right,
our first annual watch show, y'all.
first annual Watch Show for
We
sure.
doing it.
Done
Yeah.
deal, man. Y'all stay cool, be cool. How y'all be cool. Stay
We'll do.
safe. Whatever you do, have some fun with it and do what you
Yep.
want. And
Yep.
Contra is on every streaming platform right now. Go check that out.
Right.
And then Gallimaufry is on his way. Drib wasn't here today, but go check that out. When it dropped, go follow Drib on YouTube, Facebook, all the outlets. And it is what it is, man. Talking shit, episode 36, man. We out, man.
Yes, sir.
Watch party Saturday. Don't forget.
10
Iceberg
a.m.
Flame, PG the Hustler, Hustle World, first annual watch party, man. Let's go, man. Let's go Jackson State, man. We out.